reaching beyond the borders into the unknown. Welcome to Paranormal Investigations of Oklahoma.
Reaching beyond the borders into the unknown. Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Kale Epperson, and this is the PIO, or the Paranormal Investigations of Oklahoma, the podcast show. And I know everyone that's been on YouTube, they try to keep in contact with us, and I am sorry to say that I let you folks down. I am so sorry. I know it's been about a year since I've even done a podcast, and again, my apologies. A lot of it is that our team has been just busy, just super busy, or there's been a lot of personal issues. Myself, last year I had a lot of health issues. I was put in the hospital. I was in pretty bad shape, guys. So I wasn't able to do a lot of investigations. And then some of my team members had some personal issues too. And, family first, that's kind of our deal. But, the beginning of this year, 2019, we were busy. A lot of the team members are either guest speaking or were speaking at conferences. One of my investigators, Tammy, she was on a podcast show just yesterday. It was yesterday. She was on a podcast show. They're busy doing stuff. We're trying to get clients. If you guys tune in to our live feeds off Facebook, I know a lot of you watch our investigations live. If you watch that, I'm sure it wasn't too long ago you saw us investigating with the Oklahoma Paranormal Association and TV's the TWC, the Tennessee Rape Chasers, Mike Gonzalez and Chris Smith. Two wonderful guys. I had a blast, and the team had a blast investigating with those guys too. We investigated Guthrie Haunts, and we also investigated in Kansas. What, your Okies going to Kansas? Yeah, we went to Kansas, and we investigated Old Cowtown Museum. And watch the live feed. You see the TWC guys live in action. It's raw, it's uncut, and they're just like you and me, guys. I mean, when we go out and do an investigation, it's nothing but professionalism. Yeah, we do joke around quite a bit, but we're still remaining professional, and we had a blast. A lot of activity. Mike and Chris are great. They're wonderful guys to work with. And thank you to the Oklahoma Paranormal Association for allowing us to join along and to investigate with the TWC. That was freaking awesome. And that tied us up quite a bit. And we've been busy with cases. We investigated out in Concho, the El Reno Theater, Century Theater. We got to investigate out there. So if you haven't got a chance, check our Facebook page out. Just get under the search and go look under Paranormal Investigations of Oklahoma. It'll probably pull up two pages. We have a public page and a private page. The private page is just for my investigators. So go to the public page, and there on the public page we will post our investigations and our live feeds. And what's great about the live feed, folks, as you're watching it live, it's raw, again, uncut, and you're at home watching the feed, and you get a chance to ask questions. So as we're filming, our cameraman can see your questions. It's Facebook Live, folks. So if we're speaking with a ghost and you got a question for that ghost, type it in and we'll ask the questions for you. And again, when you make your responses on our YouTube page or our Facebook page, make sure you're being polite, respectful. We get occasionally some rude, crude, and socially unacceptable people that will leave rude comments or hateful or nasty comments, and we end up having to ban them from the page. We're trying to be friendly here. We're trying to be nice and professional. And unfortunately, that's, any forms of hate, we ain't going to tolerate that, guys. Um, it's not right, and there's a lot of people that watch our live feeds, and I don't want people to read nasty, mean feeds. So, and again, uh, you get a chance to sit down, type out your question, and one of the investigators will ask it for you. More likely, it'll be our cameraman. Uh, but yeah, you get to tune along with us and watch everything that we do. This Our next investigation, I think, will be in Muskogee, Oklahoma. We're going to the Roxy Theater. It's a place I've never investigated before. The Oklahoma Paranormal Association, I love they're like our sister team. We love them to death. They invited us to come along to investigate that location, and I was a little concerned. If you live here in Oklahoma, you know about all the raining, all the flooding, the tornadoes. The weather's been crazy here, folks. So we were a little bit concerned about the flooding down in Muskogee. One of our favorite investigation spots, the USS Batfish, World War II submarine. The floods hit it hard down there. The whole submarine shifted. So the museum needs a lot of help, a lot of support. So I'm going to throw that plug out there to them that they really need help. If you get on the U.S. Batfish page, they're needing donations badly. Again, that's our history, folks. You got to learn about history. If you don't, history's doomed to repeat itself. So it honors our veterans. It honors our people that served in the military. Prayers for the people at the U.S. Batfish. But yeah, back to the Roxy Theater. I've never investigated out there before. We spoke with the client, and they basically told us the flooding didn't affect them. So it'll probably be not this Saturday, but the Saturday next. So make sure that you're tuning in on our Facebook Live. We'll more likely be recording live out there for the investigation. This podcast, not to ramble on, I'm sorry. I'm bad about rambling. It's hard sometimes to do a podcast by yourself because you're not talking to anybody. You're talking by yourself. So sometimes I ramble. That's just me. I like to ramble. I'm making this podcast to basically speak about respect for clients. And gosh, I don't want to turn this into a rant. I really don't want to turn it into a rant. But I'm an unhappy camper right now with the majority of Oklahoma and Texas because a favorite paranormal site was lost due to the negligence or sheer... I don't know what you... I'm sorry, now I'm getting mad. We lost the site. And it's because of another paranormal team. I'm not going to name the team because I don't know who this team was. This particular site, just for their privacy, I'm not going to mention the site. But I ended up getting a phone call from one of our other sister groups down in South Oklahoma that reported to us that the site was gone. And it hit me like a rock. I was like, what happened? And basically, from my understanding of the story, is that another paranormal team went in there. They booked the site, and apparently they sold tickets to the site, made people pay to come and investigate the site. And apparently the client didn't know anything about it. That is a big no-no. And then rumor has it that somebody trashed the site out. Like I said, I don't know if that's true. It's all second-hand, third-hand information. But it all boils down to this client was so upset that he basically denied any other paranormal team to go in and investigate, ever. Maybe in the future, hopefully, but for right now, no one can go in. And that just breaks my heart. When I go to sites, I'm fully respectful to our clients. When I go in and do an investigation, I try to leave leave the site better than it was when I first came in. You know, a lot of times I'll pick up trash, and it wasn't even trash that we left behind because we have that much respect for our clients. Um, you know, anytime we do an investigation, you know, we pardon the noise. I got my dog Sally here, and she wants to be on camera and be famous. But yeah, I try to give them as much respect as possible. Um, you know, you can't go behind your client's back. Now, I understand paranormal teams try to make money. Uh, I don't agree with paranormal teams that charge for investigations. That's crap. Okay, um, it's different if you're running a ghost tour. Um, that's totally different uh, because it's not like a full investigation. It's more for entertainment purposes. But for like serious investigations, no team should charge. You know, I'm an ordained minister myself. You know, if I go in and cleanse somebody's house, I'm not going to charge them for it. That's ridiculous. Um, but you know, there's some do's and don'ts with dealing with clients, and you have to remember that that site does not belong to you. I know that's kind of hard to believe, but it doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to the paranormal team. It belongs to the property owner, and it's private property or a private business, and they need to know what's going on. So you have to be very open to them. So if you're wanting to go to a site and do ticket sales, you've got to get approval through the client to do that. You can't go behind their back and do that. I mean, it's almost like fraud, folks. I mean, come on, it's wrong. Now I know there's teams out there that they'll go to a historical site, they'll do their legal paperwork, and they'll have an agreement with the client to do a ghost tour or try to raise money for the site. That's perfectly fine as long as the client knows about it and there's agreements and paperwork filled out. You know, if I go and investigate a haunted mansion somewhere and they're needing donations to help renovate the place, and we sell tickets to have people come in and investigate, and that donation money goes to the client, that's fine. But you can't sneak behind the client's back and not tell them that you sold tickets to get money for your paranormal team. There's other ways of getting money. People always ask me, Kale, how do you get money for all your equipment, all your stuff? It comes out of my wallet. It comes out of my paycheck. Or my team members will buy something and donate it to the team. That's how it works. I work hard. I do overtime. My team members work a lot. The equipment we have on the team, it belongs either to me or the team members, and it comes right out of our pocket. And again, a paranormal team is not a business. We're not out there charging people to do ghost investigations. Um, you know, if you want to go out and have a car wash or something like that to raise money, that's fine. But I kind of, again, this is more focused on our clients. Because one thing to keep in mind, especially if you're new in the field, it is hard to get a paranormal site. A lot of people think it's easy. You know, they think, oh, you just go to some site and investigate. And it's like, no, it doesn't work that way. We have to get permission to be at whatever site we go to. There are a lot of abandoned sites, but you must make darn tootin' that is an abandoned site. Do a lot of research to find out if a site's abandoned or not, because you may go out there and be trespassing and you don't realize that you're trespassing at all. But all the sites you see us when we do our live feeds and stuff, somebody owns that property and we get permission to be there. And it's hard. We have to get on the internet and do searching for haunted sites. A lot of times on our days off, we get together and we drive around to different locations, and we'll get with whoever the owner of the property is, and we'll have a conversation with them and then ask them permission if it would be okay to do an investigation there. And Sometimes we get a yes, and sometimes we get a no. And if we don't get a no, we thank them for our time, and we just move on to the next spot. A lot of the locations that we investigate is just some of our normal spots that we always investigate. Those clients have full confidence in us. We have a good reputation in the paranormal field. They know we're not going to come in and destroy the property or hurt the property. It's your credibility as a paranormal team that matters. You have to have credibility, because if you don't, how are you going to find sites? And it's hard when you're first starting out in the field, because you're going in to ask to do an investigation, and these people don't even know who you are, and you just started. I'm pretty lucky because we've been in the field for a long time. So when I'm speaking with the client, I can say, we've been doing this since 2009. We investigated all these locations. We've worked with these groups of people. And we get into our little details about the team and the experience of the team. And again, that's for, I want to make sure our clients know that, yes, we want to investigate your location, but we want to give you much honor and respect as possible, because I don't want my team screwing up where we lose a site. If I have a team member that screws up and I lose a site, guess what? That team member is probably going to get fired. But yeah, it's just full respect to our clients. And some of the clients I have, I can just call them on the phone and say, hey, this is Kale Epperson with Paranormal Investigations of Oklahoma. I'd like to see if the team could come back and investigate, and they'll either say yay or nay. And there's some of our clients that I'll actually go visit with them. I'll sit down with them and either have lunch with them or visit them at their offices or homes and speak with them for a little while and see if they'll allow us to come in. But it's not easy. Team members, a lot of paranormal teams, like almost every investigator is excited to go to an investigation, and they never miss a beat. While you get some paranormal teams, it's kind of hit and miss. You'll get a site, and next thing you know, you get like 3 or 4 investigators that decide, well, I got too much going on and I can't make it. I try to explain to like new investigators like that are kind of hit and miss with ghost investigations, is that it's difficult to get sites. And, you would hate to cancel a site because you got a couple investigators that just decide, I just don't want to show up. And it's a difficult process to get these clients. But, yeah, not to ramble. I'm sorry, I'm bad about rambling. But yeah, it's all a respect factor. All the clients we have, they fill out the liability paperwork. They know if my team members get hurt, or if our property gets destroyed for some reason, we're not going to leave the client liable for it. And of course, with the liability paperwork, it protects us too as a paranormal team. If something gets damaged at their site, they can't come back at us for it either. But yeah, it's just a respect factor. Getting clients is very difficult. I have to, get on to my team members sometimes about, you need to be prompt about getting the evidence. Try to get the review done. I don't want to make our clients wait too long to get evidence. That's a no-no. But yeah, it's just a respect factor, and it's not just respect for the living; it's a respect for the dead also. Because you remember, if these locations are haunted, you don't want to make the spirits mad, or the ghosts that are haunting the place mad. A lot of the paranormal sites we go to, we don't want to tamper with anything or mess with anything, because something might change the environment where we may not get that, for say it's a residual haunting. And an example of a residual haunting is maybe at 3 o'clock in the morning you get a scream. And it happens at a certain time, at a certain date, and you don't want to go in and disturb the environment, because a lot of times the environment has something to do with the residual energy that's left behind. And if you disturb something or you leave trash around, it may be an issue where you may not get that activity ever again. So, but yeah, like I said, I don't mean to ramble. I just really wanted to make this podcast because, like I said, I was concerned about our clients and about giving them respect. It just breaks my heart to know that a site was lost because that ripples through every paranormal team. And if you want to ruin your credibility as a paranormal team, lose a site where everybody can go to it. You're going to quickly, you're going to get a black eye from it. And some teams survive from it, others don't. I've heard stories where paranormal teams have trespassed on somebody's property before, and then say if I go and ask to see if I can investigate there, the owner may be upset because he's got this bad view on ghost hunters, and he may say, I don't want you guys here. The last group that came here did this and they did that, and I don't want you guys out here. Because that one knucklehead paranormal group could, like I said, run it for everybody. If they think ABC Paranormal is a bunch of morons, they're going to think the rest of us are a bunch of morons. There is a site here in Oklahoma City. They do not want ghost hunters in there whatsoever because they had one paranormal team come in there and screw it up for everybody, and now they have issues of people breaking in and vandalizing the property. And anytime a ghost hunter team goes in there, he just gets mad, he gets upset, and says, I don't want any paranormal groups out here whatsoever. Actually, there's at least 2 sites I can think of right now. One in Oklahoma City and one in Moore. There's a place in Moore, Oklahoma, where I've asked the client to say, hey, can I investigate here? And he basically told me that some paranormal group came in, and he was trying to keep it on the down low. He didn't want people knowing that the site was haunted. He allowed them to come in. He said, do not publicize that the location is haunted. And guess what they did? They got all over social media and told everyone, hey, we investigated this site. And next thing you know, the guy started having issues with kids breaking in, people breaking in, vandalizing the property. So guess what? No one can investigate there now. Yeah, it's just all respect for our clients, guys. It's not difficult. One thing to keep in mind, if you ever listen to any of my past podcast shows, sometimes we deal with territorial ghost hunters, the type that is, oh, you can't investigate there, that's my site, blah, 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 blah. We deal with that on occasion. It's not as bad as it used to be. I think all those troublemaker teams now are all pretty much fizzled out and gone. I don't have that issue anymore. But you get some paranormal teams that think this site over here is ours and you can't investigate there. That's just for our team. That used to be a problem several years ago. I really don't notice that much anymore. For me, if I want to investigate a site and ABC Paranormal is paying rent there, I know that I need to talk with both the ABC Paranormal group and the client before trying to book in an investigation at the site. But when it comes to paranormal sites, like I've always said in the past, the client is the one that decides which paranormal team goes in there. And most of the locations, especially around here in Oklahoma, they're very open-minded about letting people come and investigate. Now, I do get a couple clients that'll call me and say, hey, have you heard of XYZ Paranormal? And I'll be like, no, never heard of them before. Or they may call and say, hey, do you know, I don't know, I'll just throw a name out there, Piedmont Paranormal. I don't think there's a Piedmont Paranormal, but for say it, and Piedmont Paranormal called them when they want to know if they can investigate out here. Do you know them? I can say, yeah, I've worked with Piedmont Paranormal before. They are a great group of investigators, very respectful. Yeah, it'd be okay to let them in. It's all about reputation. I've had it before where I got a call from a paranormal team saying, "Hey, did you guys contact this site to investigate?" Yeah, I did. Oh yeah, okay. Well, they contacted me. They were wanting to know about your team and stuff, and I let them know that your team's okay and blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh yeah, I appreciate that. You know, reputation is everything, guys. Again, it boils down to you're running your paranormal team like a business. I always ran my team like a business. Um, Again, that's how you get clients. You know, if my house was haunted and everybody knew about it, and I had all these paranormal teams that showed up wanting to investigate, I'm going to be speaking with these paranormal groups, and I'm going to be sitting there like, okay, tell me about your team. Tell me what you do. Tell me your experiences in the field, what type of equipment that you use. I want to know the full detail on this team. It's like hiring on a new employee, or you're a business trying to get a contractor in. You want to make sure you get the right person that comes in. So, you know, there's some clients I show up to a client location to speak with them, and I'll be wearing a polo shirt or a nice dress shirt because I'm trying to look professional. Uh, but if I show up to a client and I got skulls on my T-shirt and I look like I just rolled out of bed, more than likely they're not going to allow me in. Um, you know, I got some weird cult thing on my shirt or something. They're probably not going to let me into the site. You know, it boils down to professionalism, and uh, again, clients pay attention to what you do and how you act. I got a lot of what I consider high end places that I investigate, and these places they're hard to get into. They're very picky about who they let in, and I just recently booked a site. And I had to send emails to a curator, and he had to get approval through either a council or a director or something. And I made a professional email saying we request to investigate this site, and then explain our team, and kind of a short summary of our experiences and things that we do, and thank God, they were nice enough to approve it and to allow us in. But it's all about professionalism. I get a lot of people like, hell, how do you find your sites? Look them up online, start making phone calls, start driving around. It takes time, but you got to treat your clients with respect. And try to be neutral about everything. So, especially if it comes with religious beliefs or any of that stuff, and a lot depends on the case too. But you try not to offend people or make people upset. Again, it goes back to the credibility of your paranormal team. So, well, I know you're probably getting tired of me rambling on, but I just want to make this quick video podcast on just respect for our clients. I really didn't want to turn this into a rant, so hopefully it's not a rant. I don't think it is, but again, it's just more of I don't know. It really broke my heart. Broke my heart that we lost the site because of another paranormal team. It sucks, guys. Really sucks. You investigate a site, because a lot of times we go back to the same site over and over again, and we make contacts with spirits, and they're like your friends, and you try to help them. You make friendships with your clients, and when you're on a paranormal team, again, you do experiments, and you may find evidence from, 3 months ago you investigated a site, so you're excited to go back the next time to either verify something, or you made progress in the case, and, this one site, we made contact with a little girl, and we're excited to go back and speak with her again. We had an apparition photo and contact with a lady that haunted the building, and now we can't go back and socialize with these spirits anymore. It sucks. It really does suck. Um, in one way, I feel sounds bad, but I do feel kind of bad for the paranormal team that screwed it up, because it's kind of hard to say if they did it on purpose, or it's just one of those deals they thought they were doing a good thing and it blew up in their face, which it could be. Maybe they didn't think they needed the owner's permission to charge. Uh, this is kind of one of the reasons why I want to make this video, is to let people know, if you want to do sales or whatever, you got whatever property that you're using for your investigation, you have to have permission. That client needs to know what's going on, because if you make a profit off of something, guess what? You're going to have to share that profit with the property manager. It's just that simple. It gets a little touchy-feely with some of that stuff. So, but again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you aren't too bored with this video podcast. I just want to kind of keep it short anyway. Again, tune in and watch us live on Facebook. Just get under Paranormal Investigations of Hope. You can see the banner behind me. I'm getting kind of dry mouth from talking so much. But yeah, check us out on live, guys. We got a lot. We got, like I said, almost 5,000 followers. They watch us live. There's times I have 3,000 people watching me all at once. And thank you for your support. I really thank you for that. Get on there and see where we're going to go next. We got some new investigators that we're getting ready to train. So I'm super excited about that. Trying to wrap it up here. Trying to keep an eye on the time. This October in El Reno, guess who's coming back? That's right, the Tennessee Wraith Chasers. Mike and Chris, they're coming back, and they're going to be one of the guest speakers down at the Paracon down in El Reno. You can find out all the information about the Paracon on Facebook, social media. Just get on the Oklahoma Paranormal Association's Facebook page, on their web page, and you can check out our PIO page too. We'll start posting stuff up about the conference. I will be guest speaking. Some of my investigators will be guest speaking. Again, Chris and Mike will be our top dogs, our big name guest speakers there. You'll get to meet up with them. I think they're doing ticket sales to investigate somewhere, so you can actually investigate with the TV show guys. So it should be a great experience. But I'm going to get off here. And I hope you folks have a good evening, good night, or good morning, whatever it is, the time you're watching this. Blessings to everyone, and I'll talk to you later.